All right, Ryan, what are you torturing my brain with today, sir?
Oh, this is a torture chamber, I'm afraid, Marcella, because we're going to get geeky about security. Um, and I have to get geeky about security for us because we're at a point in the business where we're really refining our workflows. We're developing our, individual AIs for our customers, and security is always first and foremost front of mind for me, being the technical side. And also, there's two aspects that we deal with at Ready Plan Grow that I want everyone to be cognizant of. And when you think of security, you've got to think about the actual security of the data points, whether that be personal data points, financial data points, any projections you're uploading. Marcella does lots of projections with our clients. And we want the AI to be able to help them with those projections, but we need a gate to prevent any data from leaking. So I have been on a mission for about a week now, and our preferred AI of choice is Manus, which is, as many of you will start hearing, it's just been acquired by Meta for $2 billion. I have been using yeah, 2 billion. I've been using Manus since the beginning, and I've done a deep exploration comparing Manus's data security to all the other AIs that are out there that our people might be using, right? So that's where we're getting geeky. Any questions before I
Well,
dive in?
yeah, I mean, I'm preparing the jargon alert because I know you're going to use a lot of techie terms here that are so important. No, I was excited about this discovery for us because, as you mentioned, we are not only handling customer data overall, but more importantly, we have financial data. And one of the really annoying things that I was doing was when I was getting financial data and spreadsheets from our customers, I was opening them, making sure there was no personal, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
identifiable information in the files, even though
right.
we asked our customers not to provide it. You know what happens. Oops, I forgot. So that was one. So I was cleaning it, and then number two, I was removing the brand name
Right.
from the work. I was giving it a three-letter word so that I could say FTI, RPG, ETG, etc., for fear that that data would
Hmm.
end up, heaven
Right.
forbid, out there. So this quiets that concern, and I think you're about to explain why.
Absolutely. So let's go first with financial data and just think about this from a layman perspective. The gatekeepers of all of our financial business data are accountants. Accountants are the ones who essentially have come up with this security protocol, and this security protocol that is being used is called SOC 2, which is SOC 2. So first of all, what does that stand for? Because we love to BS the acronyms here. That stands for
Not your
Service.
sock,
Not your sock. Nice.
just making sure.
Service Organization Control Type 2.
Say that
So,
again.
Service Organization Control Type
Control.
2. And there are two
Okay.
different types. There's Type 1 and Type 2. Type 2 is the one that we want to make sure that we are actually certified for with the AIs that we're using. So, this is a cybersecurity compliance framework that has been developed specifically by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, or if you like the acronym, AICPA is the acronym. So the purpose is to ensure that any third-party service provider or store that processes client data does so in a secure manner applicable to the rules and regulations of the aforementioned cybersecurity. So what does this mean for our clients? What this means is for you using your own AI once we've deployed it to our client and us using it in collaboration with them or we're building the knowledge base and everything else, Manus is completely SOC 2 compliant. Not only is it SOC 2 compliant, It also uses or leverages the user's browser for memory, which sandboxes, and that's a term we use in development to make sure something is kept within the sandbox. Think of a kid's sandbox, right? It's an enclosed environment. Manus works in that manner. So we're not only SOC 2 compliant, which is a must, we're working in a sandboxed environment, and any data that is loaded up is only stored within that client's local browser and then actioned upon, right? So,
Okay, wait, hold on.
does that all make sense so far?
where is that the best emoji I could find for what you just did to me?
I think
Um,
so.
okay.
Yeah. No,
So to just play that back,
yeah.
the SOC 2 compliance means that, for example, I imagine Shopify, which collects and manages client data, should be using.
That is a very, very good question, Marcella,
So that's
because
something I'd like to look into, because certainly a lot of the customer data that we get is exported out of Shopify. So that's a question that is pending and I'd like to go back to. It's certainly something that anybody in e-commerce handling sensitive customer data should be aware of.
absolutely.
One.
And the research I've done is specifically to AI, which particular
Mhm.
AI SOC
Yeah.
2.
But I think
I
this is a
don't
really good just
absolutely.
research piece for us, and I promise to blog about it after I research. So under the AI umbrella, thank you for
Mhm.
reeling my brain in. Um, Manus has certified that they are following those security protocols.
Absolutely.
And this is the piece that I wanted to slow you down on. The
Mhm.
reason that Manus does that well is because it's acting within your own browser
Correct.
compared to what, ChatGPT that does not. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's
Certain
the differences?
the difference is where the data is going when you put the data into the AI. So
Okay.
for example, so I don't want to call out certain particular AIs because it's
Okay.
not, this isn't a don't use that AI kind of PSA in any way, shape, or
Mm-hmm.
form. This is a just understand what you're using with AI
Or
PSA.
SYA, save your ass.
Yeah, save your ass. Absolutely.
PSA,
Because
SYA.
and the reason I wanted to do this and explain this on a live is it's quite confusing to actually figure out what is what, because I can guarantee that Manus is giving us what we want, but when you look at, and I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, OpenAI. If you look at ChatGPT, on the surface, as a layman, you would probably think that ChatGPT and ChatGPT Pro, I think it is, and I'll confirm this in a second, are SOC 2 compliant. But in fact, they're not when you dig in. They're compliant with other various regulations, which we're not going to touch on right now, but they only get SOC 2 compliant when you get to an enterprise level or you get to the
Ah,
large business level.
because they're in
So
essence locking it in at that point.
exactly. I think there's a whole different environment, right, for the processing of data and everything else. And you and I have used Enterprise GPT when we've been in court.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
there is a difference there in how it shares and how it utilizes data. So, essentially, I would urge everyone to go to the actual, and I will share quickly here, and we can show people. Let's just do a quick desktop share here. No, is that the right screen? Oh, you see my screen, Marcella, with the,
Manus AI details on security. Yes.
okay, good. Okay, so this is the research paper that I had here. So this just runs through quickly. OpenAI maintains SOC 2 Type 2 compliance, which is the top
Mm-hmm.
level, but that is specific to the platform. So please check your platform. Google Cloud and Gemini, SOC 2 type 2 reports for its cloud-based AI infrastructure. Okay. So for example, and to touch back on OpenAI
Can
and
you make that bigger for my
bigger,
51-year-old eyes?
absolutely. Oh, in fact,
Yes, yes.
I've got it shrunk down anyway.
Woohoo, thank you.
There we go. That's much
All
better.
right. Okay.
So, OpenAI, if you use OpenAI through their API, then it is SOC 2 compliant. Okay.
And to
If
be
you,
clear, that API tends to be more enterprise.
well, you can use the API just in and of itself and build a custom
Ah,
GPT within the API and just use like a
okay.
Chat Pro account or something. But then using API credits, the whole usage gets slightly different and the whole thing changes. So Meta have been audited in accordance, and that is for its enterprise-related hardware and firmware. Now, bear in mind, Meta are going to be introducing Manus into the Metasphere, let's call it. So once that comes in, that will still be SOC 2 compliant because of the natural way that it works. Couple of other AIs here, Stability, Contextual, Symphony. These are other ones that I don't think many of our users would be looking to use. And then last, we have Manus. Now, if you want to check any of the AI companies, they all have a page that shows their compliance. You just need to find the link
That's
on the
great.
page. This particular one you can select here. So for ChatGPT Enterprise and Education versions, here we have all of their compliance standards. You can see the SOC 2, SOC Type 2, SOC 3, etc. So, and then when you switch, you can switch through the API, has the same standards. So this is not including a free ChatGPT account, a pro ChatGPT account, or a small business account, or what other plethora of accounts they may currently have as offerings. So you can find this out with all of them, and really that kind of closes it. There's not much more to say on this. Going into the actual compliance, etc., is pointless. But if you're working with RPG or you're working on Manus, you can safely and confidently use your own financial data without the risk of a leak due to the SOC 2 compliance, the sandbox environment, and the fact that it works locally within your browser. So there is no leak. So that is the reason I made this decision for Ready Plan Grow this week and why we're going to move forward with Manus. And should things change, we will change with the times because AI is very liquid. But for right here, right now, that's our direction, and that's my there endeth my talk for today's live.
Thank you for sharing this techie talk with us. I know that it's a bit less general in topic than what we
Right.
cover, but as more businesses get comfortable with using AI to analyze data and do research, we want to make sure that if you are using financial data or customer data with personally identifiable information, said it right,
Yes, you nailed
then you want to pay
it.
attention to this. That's really the key reason you wanted to raise it, and
Yeah.
then inform me that you've made this decision for us, which is great.
Exactly. And the other, just that my final nugget for today is the other piece of sensitive data that I really didn't talk about. We spoke about the financials more, but is your knowledge base. Because if you're going to build an effective AI like we build in T-shirt RPG, you're going to need to build that knowledge base in there. And that knowledge base inadvertently is going to have some information in there that you are not going to want public facing. You might use it to within the business structure, but it's not something that you want to lead. So they are the components, financials and knowledge base have to stay. So
I'm looking at the calendar because you promised me a knowledge base geek out video this
uh
week. It's Tuesday, so I can't
Err.
wait to hear back from you. Thanks for this, Ryan. I look forward to our next chat.
You're welcome. You have a great one. See you soon.
You too. Bye.
Bye.